Hello, Buko here. Sorry for the extended wait time. I just realized that I had to make a cup of tea for myself so that I could prepare for this. I'm still kind of resting my voice after last night's Love and Deep Space stream just because I talked a lot. I talked a lot. So, and I'm gonna talk even more today. Hello. Thank you for showing up. I'm good. How are you? I've been rewatching Haikyuu, and I think I'm ready to talk about it. It's been a long while. I had enough time to rewatch a lot of Haikyuu ever since the first stream. Your favorite is Nishinoya? Good choice. I put him in S tier. Nishinoya is fantastic, so he's a good choice. My favorite is Yamaguchi. I think he's like a rare pick, just because Yamaguchi's not very reliable in a game, but it's the thought that counts, in my opinion. Rolling Thunder! yeah, the Rolling Thunder from Noya is iconic. You cannot tell me otherwise. Okay, so I think I'm gonna just kick it off right now with Seijo, right? So, okay, we all know that the historical rivals of Karasuno, like with Ukai Sensei, as a team, their team rivals were Nekoma, right? But in my opinion, the team that is the arch rivals of the current Karasuno roster is Aoba Josai or Seijo, because their beef is like generational. It's their beef is gonna stem for the next 3 years pretty much. Okay, these guys are gonna move on, they're gonna go to college, but these guys are always gonna remember the fact that Karasuno beat them, and they're gonna use that to fuel their desire for, I don't know, to get better in volleyball. Kuro and Bokuto are my other favorites. I'm probably gonna be ranking them today, but spoiler alert, they're some of my favorites too. Like, I love them. They're so entertaining, especially this fucking Bokuto. Bokuto is so entertaining. Yeah, Oikawa hits hard. Okay, so I think if you ask a lot of people, right, Oikawa, there are people who dislike him. There are people who love him. But you cannot deny, Oikawa is one of the standout characters in Haikyuu. You cannot watch this anime and not think of this guy. So that's where he stands for me. Like, I freaking love Oikawa. He goes S tier probably. Oh man, where do I put him if I ranked him here? Probably, I don't know. I like Tsukishima's development, but I'll probably put him above. I'll put him next to Kageyama right here. Makes sense, right? Because you have the Osama, and then you have the Dai Osama, the great king, the guy who Kageyama stole all his moves from. Okay, not all of it. Kageyama is a monster. Like, Kageyama is so good at volleyball, but he learned a lot of how to be a good setter from Oikawa. Now, the problem with Oikawa is that he is so petty. he, like, okay, if I've seen some people react very negatively to that scene in the flashback where Oikawa was still in middle school. This was back when he and Iwaizumi were still middle schoolers in Kitagawa Daiichi, and Oikawa almost hit Kageyama. He did not actually hit Kageyama, but Oikawa almost hit him, and that was enough to make a lot of people hate Oikawa for life. But for my opinion, right? In my opinion, I don't see these teenagers as like paragons of virtue. Like, I don't expect them to act properly 100% of the time. So I don't hold that against Oikawa as a character. With Kageyama, he gets like that. He wasn't the king anymore, and Oikawa just took his crown. Yeah, but I mentioned it in my first video, first stream, that Kageyama basically did almost everything that Oikawa did, but in his first year. That's how good Kageyama is. And okay. That's like, okay, so going back to that flashback where they were still in middle school. Iwaizumi told Oikawa that that's not the way. Like, taking your anger out through force, through like punching or beating your opponent, like, that is not a healthy way to cope. The best way to like deal with your frustrations is to beat them on the court. That's like the healthy way to do it. So I think Oikawa adopts that, like, that snarky personality because he'd rather express his, like, not hatred. He'd maybe it is hatred. He'd rather express his discontent with Kageyama by teasing him or acting like childish instead of actually like beating him up or something, which I think is a lot healthier. It also results in a character who is just so funny to watch because he acts like such a kid sometimes. Like, I think I remember when Kageyama went and asked Oikawa for advice on Hinata, because I was rewatching like the what's it called, the Tokyo training arc, and Oikawa, he was there watching over his nephew, and the nephew said, Oikawa, Toru, you're acting like such a kid now. Even the 12-year-old was calling him a kid. But with him and Hinata, they both rule together like true brothers and kings. Yeah. Like, actually, I would argue that I'm not gonna put Iwa-chan in S tier yet, but I think Kageyama and Hinata, their like dynamic is a lot similar to Oikawa's and Iwaizumi's, because Iwaizumi is like the ace, right, of Seijo. Now the difference is that these guys are childhood friends, so they have like a long history of like relying on each other, and that camaraderie really shows in their interactions. But with their dynamic on the court, I mean, these guys are very similar, which I think I like for Seijo. Seijo is like the complete, I said before that they're rivals, right? They're rivals to Karasuno officially. Even their color schemes are complete inversions of each other. Like, Karasuno is black and orange, and Seijo's is teal and white. I don't know if it's teal, but something like that. But Oikawa, right? Oikawa, I have to respect him a lot. I really do respect him, because with Ushiwaka or Ushijima. I guess I'll call him Ushijima for the rest of this. But with Ushijima, he told Oikawa to go to Shiratorizawa and said that, hey, you are such a good setter. We could use you on our team. And then Oikawa said, I don't want to do it. No. But what he really meant was he wanted to win. He didn't want to just go to the strongest school and win that way. That's what Shirabu did. Like, Shirabu is the type of setter that Shiratorizawa needed, right? But Oikawa wanted to win with his friends, which you gotta respect him for, right? The fact that he wanted to win with Iwa-chan says a lot about him. Way more than his, like, childish personality would have you believe. He wanted to prove that hard work could overcome just like the superior natural talent of Ushijima. But unfortunately, Oikawa's story got halted because they lost to Karasuno. It's rough because I think Seijo in the spring tourney arc in the Haruko, Seijo was really practicing to overcome Shiratorizawa because Shiratorizawa beat them in the Inter-High championship. So all of their thoughts, I think they were mainly focusing on their eventual rematch with Shiratorizawa, but Karasuno came in and just like destroyed any and all hopes that they had of overcoming Shiratorizawa, which was sad, right? There's that really good there was like a movie released, which was like a recap movie of Haikyuu, and they added a scene where all the third years of Aoba Josai like said goodbye to each other as volleyball teammates. It was so sad, but I think that right there shows you what Oikawa wanted to do. He wanted to win with his friends, and unfortunately it didn't happen. But just like the sheer amount of layers to Oikawa's character is what keeps me just invested in him. And especially that moment where in the final rally of Karasuno, like I can't forget to mention this, right? In the final rally against Karasuno, Oikawa does like an insane mid-air set off the court to Iwaizumi. That's like the quote he says is like, talent is something you make bloom, and instinct is something you polish. I hope I got that right. I should have taken a screenshot so that I could recall it properly, but that was so good. It just shows you how much trust he puts in Iwa-chan, right? Yeah, S tier. No ifs, ands, or buts. Iwaizumi goes into A tier. I really like him more than Suga. Oh man, no, I can't. I like Sugawara a lot. Okay, he's going here, right underneath Oikawa actually. Okay, I didn't plan that. That was happy accident. Okay, so Iwa-chan, Iwaizumi goes underneath Oikawa. It's really wholesome to see how far his relationship with Oikawa goes. They were literally kids watching volleyball together and saying like, we're gonna be the best in Japan, and that type of thing. And ever since then, they were like a tag team duo for the ages. They were partners for sure. If all the fan art shipping them wasn't evidence enough. But like with Iwaizumi, okay, here's the thing. A lot of Haikyuu teams, right? Later on in the series, they get characterized by animals. Like Karasuno was always characterized by crows. Nekoma were always cats. But then like in the early stages of Haikyuu, there were teams that didn't have an animal association. Like Wakunan was briefly mentioned, did not have an animal. Dateko has no animal associated with them. Neither does Seijo, right? Officially, I don't think Seijo has an actual animal that represents them. Because like their name, Aoba Josai. I think Seijo, the katakana, like the kanji for Seijo translates to like blue castle or something like that. Man, this made me want to watch the anime or rewatch the anime because I forgot how it all happened. Well, I rewatch it every year, so I would like definitely say go for it. This anime is a masterpiece. But yeah, like their title was Blue Castle, so they didn't really have an animal. They were just meant to be like the kings of the court, literally. Blue Kings was their moniker. So I think I've seen like a lot of people theorize, okay, what would their animal be, right? What would it be per se? In my opinion, my headcanon for Seijo is that they are either a wolf pack or like a pack of dogs. But some type of like dog like team. That's the one that's closest because they have the mad dog, right? They have the mad dog running wild. And Iwaizumi acts as like the pack leader. Cause like Kyotani, he challenges Iwa-chan and then he can't beat him at sports or arm wrestling or anything like that. So Iwa-chan is top dog. You never liked Tsukishima, like he belittles Kageyama. I get like he can remember if they were seniors. Yeah. Like Tsukishima is a very polarizing character. A lot of people don't like his personality, but I think he adds like a really good element to the story. Something that you can't find in most other sports anime, so that's why I put him at S. But I understand if a lot of people don't like him. But yeah, back to the whole dog allegory. They definitely strike me as like a pack of wolves or a pack of dogs, whichever. And I guess you could call Iwa-chan the alpha. I know that study has been disproven. That whole like alpha study by that one zoologist. He even went and tried to get those studies taken down because he realized that his research was false or something like that. And now we have all these like alpha people, like people using the whole alpha beta stuff for people, which doesn't make any sense. But okay, I'm getting sidetracked. Iwa-chan is very skilled at volleyball. He's a very dependable ace. He's very like he's a giga chad is the only words I can use. There's that moment during their match with Date Kogyo where it was Koganagawa's like first game or first tournament basically as a first year, and Iwaizumi hits the volleyball in between Koganagawa's hands. It was crazy. He sunned him so hard here in that moment. I felt so bad for Koganagawa. He got absolutely sunned by Iwa-chan. And I like how Iwa-chan is always there to keep Oikawa in line. Yeah, their friendship is so adorable. Because like when Oikawa's like flirting with girls when he's supposed to be in a meeting, Iwa-chan gets mad at him, throws a volleyball at his face, and he's the only one that Oikawa lets do that to him. Same, I don't know the alpha omega thing. I was not born in this type of era. No, you don't have to worry about that. That whole alpha and omega thing is false. It doesn't apply to humans. But for some for some reason people try to apply it to humans. But yeah, Iwa-chan A tier. I freaking love this guy. He adds such a good dynamic to Oikawa and the rest of Seijo as well. The next one would be Matsukawa. Now, okay, I should say, with Matsukawa and Hanamaki, yes, I know all their names because I've just rewatched the show and I really Googled and prepared for this. But Matsukawa and Hanamaki, they don't really stand out. Not in the way that like Kyotani, Hindaichi, and Kunimi do. Well, actually, not Kunimi. But I really like that moment. Kyoko, my wifey, love her. Kyoko's great. I have a different wifey. If I had to pick my favorite girl in Haikyuu, it's not Shimizu, and it's probably someone that nobody knows. At least she's married to Tanaka. Okay, so I should mention that I haven't watched or read anything past the Nekoma match, but I do know about that spoiler. I do know about that, but I'm not going to talk about it yet. I'm going to talk about it in like a future video or stream or whatever. Missed my chance. You're good. Okay, I have a favorite girl. It's not her, but yeah, I feel like she's a popular pick, mostly because she's so pretty. But also, I feel like people only see the prettiness and don't see her like supportive character in the background. Okay. Regardless, I really like that moment where Oikawa is about to serve in the rematch to Karasuno, and then Iwa-chan is like, well, if you miss the serve, you're gonna buy us ramen. And then they have that really cute moment where they're like, shoyu, tonkotsu, tantan-men. I love that moment so much. I freaking they're like, the third years of Seijo are so adorable, which makes it all the more sad when they cry in that extra scene in the movie. But with Matsukawa, he is a really good middle blocker. I think he's a middle blocker. He was always such an intimidating force during the games. He's kind of like Sugawara, where he would be rotated out and then he would be able to see the game from outside the court, and then he'd be able to formulate a plan to stop, let's say, the free quick or Hinata's normal quick or normal improved quick in season 2. I love Kyoko because she's doing her job, supporting the team, and the greatest thing is the team sees it and adores and respects her. Yeah. I really like Shimizu. I know this is a thing in anime. I don't like the fan service scenes with her and sometimes Yachi and sometimes Tanaka's sister, like when they're in like changing or a bathtub, because it feels very voyeuristic, or not the bathtub, an onsen or something like that. It feels very voyeuristic, and I don't like seeing any of the characters in Haikyuu in that type of framing, especially Shimizu, because a lot of people just see her for her looks. But that's neither here nor there. I really like her. For Matsukawa though, I would put him at C, I guess. Didn't really leave that much of an impression on me. But he was a good friend to the Seijo crew, so there's that. And he was a good senpai to his like kohais here. Hanamaki, I actually like him a bit more than Matsun, so I'm gonna put him here. I guess I'll have all the third years underneath each other. Hanamaki, he's a really good wing spiker, and he is like, I forget if it's I don't know if he's the opposite. Maybe he's the opposite on Seijo, which is like the wing spiker opposite the setter, approaching from the right, which is basically the position that Daichi is in. He's really good at receiving. I think the best receivers in Seijo are like him, Watari, and Iwaizumi. They're like the best. So they're very crucial to the team. His hairstyle sucks though. I don't want to roast him, but Hanamaki's hairstyle, his fringe is atrocious. His barber did him so dirty. I want him to get a new haircut because he has to glow up, please. But yeah, he's also a good server. I don't know. He's just like a B tier character for me, and that's being generous. I have half a mind to put him and Matsukawa in C, but I'm feeling generous today. Daichi is my favorite since he appeared on screen. Something about his presence is comforting. Daichi is, I think I agree 100% because Daichi is so reliable. You know, he is that reliable person on the team that you can always count on, and that's his whole character basically. He's the reliable rock for all of the team to rely on. That's why I put him at S. That him and Yamaguchi are my favorite characters too. In fact, I even have a Daichi figure. I literally bought a figure of Daichi, and I have it. So yeah, there's that. Kin Daichi. So okay, we're heading into the Kageyama like friends category, right? These guys were with Kageyama in Kitagawa Daiichi, right? Kindaichi and Kunimi. By the way, I'm putting Kindaichi over here. I really like him. I really like his place in the story, because Kunimi doesn't really express himself at all, and Kindaichi basically, he represents how much Kageyama's old teammates resented him. He's like the personification of that. The fact that Kindaichi assumed that Kageyama would continue being like a dictator, the king of the court, during the practice match in season 1, and then he found out that, oh wait, Kageyama's changed. He's really changed in this short amount of time. That's crazy, because like, think about it, like they probably just saw each other 4 months ago in graduation, and Kageyama changed so much after meeting Hinata and forming a team with him, forming the freak quick with him, basically. Kindaichi grew on you. Kindaichi definitely grew on. Oh, I liked Kindaichi from the get-go. I thought that he was so important to have as a character, especially when Karasuno eventually beat them, right? Kindaichi was crying in the bathroom Kunimi wasn't really crying, but he really resented. I think part of Kindaichi, I don't know if I'm misreading this, but part of me thinks that Kindaichi resented Kageyama because of his skill, and maybe Kindaichi feels bad that he couldn't be the one to make Kageyama work, because like Hinata was able to make Kageyama like a functioning member of the team, basically. Well, and Daichi as well, Daichi's leadership. But Kindaichi, I don't know, I might have to rewatch the series a bit more. I've only rewatched it like 6 times at this point. Maybe I need to watch it and analyze it a bit more. But I think he and Kunimi will be like the rivals to Harasuno moving forward, because they really hated it that Kageyama and his team beat their team. And you gotta admire Kindaichi's work ethic too. Like, he really works hard at volleyball. He really loves the sport. But okay, so I'm gonna talk about Kunimi now. Let's be real, right? Everyone has opinions. Everyone has opinions that differ from other people, especially when it comes to Haikyuu. Everyone has a character in Haikyuu that they dislike, whether it be irrationally or whatever. My least favorite character in Haikyuu is Kunimi. I don't think he's a bad character. Let me get that, like, let me spell that out properly. I don't think he's a bad character. I don't think any Haikyuu character is a bad character. Well, except for like the background characters who don't really leave any impression on you. But I think Kunimi is well written. I just think that everything Kunimi is, Tsukishima does better. Like Kunimi is just disinterested in the game, and he's not fun to watch. Aimo, I think Kindaichi admires Kageyama, who's just having a hard time reconciling with what he did during middle school to Kageyama, and also realizing he misunderstood him. Yeah, that's a good reading of it. I think Kindaichi feels bad that he didn't try to reason with Kageyama even more. Part of that is Kageyama's fault, because Kageyama is bad at communicating. Like, let's just be real, right? Kageyama has a hard time talking to people and explaining his thought process. Sometimes he just gets really quiet and doesn't explain his reasoning to his teammates, which is why he had that falling out with Kindaichi and Kunimi and the rest of the Kitagawa Daiichi team. But yeah, that's a solid foundation for their rivalry moving forward, for sure. With Kunimi, I feel like he just doesn't want to be there. The energy that I get from him is like, I guess he likes volleyball because he's in the volleyball club, but he doesn't strike me as a person who wants to give their all. You know, he always slacks off. I feel like he's also really good at volleyball too, which is what makes me even more mad that he doesn't try to put in the same amount of effort as people like Kindaichi. But even if he is good, he just doesn't have any drive. Which is, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but for this story, this is a story where I admire the people who work hard and achieve their goals and, you know, try, even if they don't succeed necessarily. Like, Yamaguchi is the epitome of that, but Kunimi is the person who succeeds like decently well, but doesn't try. He's like the antithesis of Yamaguchi. Or of Hinata, you could argue. And that's why I put him at D tier, because I don't like his mindset. Anyway. But that's very biased of me. Anyway, Watari can go into C tier with Matsukawa. I think he's fine. Like, I don't really know what to say about him. He's a good receiver. He was formerly a setter in middle school, but he became the libero of Seijo. And because of his background, he's able to do that, like, that set where the libero jumps from the backline and then sets in midair. That's a really good technique that Nishinoya stole. Well, not stole. That Nishinoya copied in order to become an even better libero. If it wasn't for Watari doing that in the match, then Noya would have less tools at his disposal. So thank you, Watari, for showing Nishinoya how to be a great and even better libero. Kunimi is work smart, not hard. That's true. I can't fault that mindset. He's a very smart player. I think he, like I said before, him and Tsukishima are very similar. They have the same volleyball IQ. It's just that Kunimi never has that moment where he wants to go all out, right? And I think the author themselves, like Furudate sensei, the author themselves knew that too, because in the second match against Seijo, they just replaced him with Kyotani. like Kunimi is subbed out so that Kyotani can just run wild on the court and be an offensive threat. I would have to put Kyotani at like B tier. I mean, I thought that he was like a force of nature. Like he was just a rabid dog that Seijo let loose in order to score points. And I gotta say, in the rematch, it was really stupid of the coach to sub him in when Karasuno was at match point. Like, that was really fucking dumb. Like, they should not have done that. Like, they gave Karasuno a set for no reason. And I get the intent was to like throw Karasuno off their game, to introduce like a new element that would hopefully take the set back. But that was a terrible, that ended up working out terribly, because all he did was steal a ball that Kindaichi was supposed to spike and hit it outside. So he just gave Karasuno the set for free. But I do like his nickname. So his name is Kyotani Kentaro, and the first kanji of his first and last name spell out like Kyoken, or like mad dog, basically. That's where he gets the mad dog nickname, Kyoken. And I feel like he has anger issues. like I feel like if he wasn't in the volleyball club, he would just be out getting into fights, maybe stealing, maybe, I don't know about stealing, maybe like, I don't know, beating people up. I feel like he has a lot of anger. So he's very scary. He's probably the scariest player because he has no control over his anger and his strength. But he is really good at, well, he is good at hitting the ball very hard. I wouldn't call him as good at volleyball as like Kageyama, no way. Or Oikawa, for that matter. Like, he has no game sense. He's like the opposite of Tsukishima and Kunimi. They have incredible game sense. Well, Kenma as well. They have incredible game sense. He has zero game sense. He just hits the ball. That's all. And that's like, Seijo was more than fine with employing that tactic just because they needed more firepower. But yeah, Kyoken B. Yahaba, I don't know, D. I don't really care about this guy. This guy, all he did was Tsukishima roasted him in the practice match, and then he then tried to hit on Yachi, but only to fail spectacularly. Yahaba, I don't know. He was like a good pinch server for that one period he was in. I don't know what to say about this guy as well. He he is a second year along with Kyoken and Watari. So if I have to guess, Seijo, they're gonna be the most eager to get revenge on Karasuno for taking away their chance at glory, or their chance to fight Shiratorizawa again. But yeah, he's a Nanpa, I guess. If you don't know what, I think Nanpa means like a guy who hits on women. like a sleazy guy who hits on women. So okay, well, he's not that bad, but he has the makings of a Nanpa in the future. Seijo's coach goes in, I don't know, here, D. Seijo's coach, I don't dislike him. Okay, maybe that's too harsh. Maybe here, D. Seijo's coach, he didn't really do a lot of the coaching. Like the technique of Seijo was that the coach and assistant coach basically, well, during the game itself, let their players be the one to discuss the tactics. So he is very much not like Keishin, where Keishin talks about like tactics all the time with his team. Like he lets the team make their own plans as well, but Keishin is always there to offer support. This guy just hangs back. So I don't know. And the fact that he subbed in Kyoken during Karasuno's match point is so stupid. He threw the game away. And I don't think the other players wanted him to do that either, but they just had to live with it. Yeah, this guy goes here. I don't really have much to say about him. Okay, at first, when I did my last stream, I didn't know who the hell this guy was, but he is apparently the Kitagawa Daiichi coach. So he was coaching the team that Hindaichi, Kageyama, and Kunimi were playing on. He goes in D. I don't remember this guy at all. He had one line. He had literally one line. So D tier. I don't know what to say about him. I guess he's a bad coach. Well, he didn't really do anything he didn't try to repair the relationship with his team. He just let it fester up to a point where Kageyama just got shunned by his whole team. So I feel like he's a bad supervisor, or he's a bad person to be watching over the kids, because he doesn't, I don't know, because what do you call it? He's an incompetent not coach. He's probably a good coach, but he's an incompetent older authority figure to be teaching these kids how to go through life. Because he could have tried to smooth things out with his whole team before it erupted. Yeah, especially since he's coaching middle schoolers. Exactly. Like if they're middle schoolers and they're fighting, he should have the clarity to know, okay, this is clearly not working. Let me talk to Kageyama. Let me figure out exactly what's going through his head, and maybe I can relay that to the team, and then the team will understand and they'll be able to come together. No, literally. Okay, that's me assuming that he didn't try to do that. Maybe he did, but from the knowledge that we get, he didn't even try to help his middle school team out. Okay, we're moving on to, honestly, if we're ranking Haikyuu uniforms, Nekoma has my favorite. I love their uniform. It's so eye-catchy. It's so well designed. It looks clean as hell. If I were a high schooler and I was like picking my volleyball team, I'd want one with red on it. This looks great. They look so sick whenever they're in their like jerseys, or even heck their like tracksuits and stuff. They look good. Kenma, S tier. I freaking loved it. I love this character. I love this character. I cannot explain exactly just how much I love Kenma. I loved it so much. You bought Kuro and Yaku's jersey? Wait, no way. That's amazing. I really like their libero color as well. It's white with the red accent. It's just subtle enough to be clean. Kenma is such an important element for Haikyuu. So okay, Here, let me spell this out. Oh wow, the official ones from Japan, they have official jerseys that you could buy. Yo, that makes me want to buy it. But then again, I won't use it. So like, what's the point of buying it, right? It would just be for decoration. Maybe if I become rich in the future, I'll have the money to afford the shipping and the fees for that. Or maybe the next time if I do eventually visit Japan, I'll stop by and buy it. The 10th year anniversary, I wear to conventions. Oh, that's sick. Yo, that's sick. I want to buy a Daichi cosplay and cosplay as him, or heck, even like Yamaguchi, maybe. I don't know. Or maybe Keishin. Yeah, one of these guys. I freaking love the Karasuno uniform as well. But okay, going back to Kenma, right? So Kenma, very important, because let's be honest, in a lot of other sports anime, or sports media in general, not even anime, you do not see a pro gamer like Kenma in the show. Like Kenma, his whole he canonically wakes up at 5 a.m. every day to play video games. Well, I'm doing the strat of playing video games at like 12 until 12 a.m. at night. But Kenma is doing, oh god, I'm gonna get that mixed up so much because his name sounds like Gama. Anyway, gamer. Kenma, he has the strats. He is more of a gamer than a jock, let's say. Growing up, I thought that gamers and jocks were two completely different groups of people, and there was no overlap. And honestly, a part of me still thinks that way. But Kenma's presence in the story shows that you can be a gamer, but also play sports. Playing games is not an excuse not to play sports. I think a lot of that has to do with, like, we have to thank Kuro for that, because Kuro is the one who, like, really, I won't say forced, but he really pushed Kenma to join the volleyball club, right? Because he thinks that he saw the talent that Kenma had. Kenma is 100% game sense. He sees volleyball as just a game, not as like a sport. And he approaches it with that mindset of like, okay, there's a volleyball meta, and each team has their own place in the meta, their play style, and you can outsmart your opponent just as easily as you can overpower them. It's like different strategies. But yeah, I'll get to Kuro in a bit. Kenma forms like the most unlikely friendship with Hinata ever. Like, I mean, Hinata can make friends with anybody basically, but Kenma is such an introvert and he's so quiet that it's hard to see them actually, like, if Kenma wasn't in the volleyball club, he would never interact with someone like Hinata, right? But because he's in the volleyball club, he was able to meet Hinata, and I guess I can see them becoming friends for life. Like, even if they're completely different people, they have like a pretty good friendship with each other, and that is just so cute. It's hilarious to see in the early seasons of Haikyuu, like season 1 and 2, the rest of the team is like, Kenma, I'm so happy Kenma's actually making friends, like they're his relatives or something, or like they're his parents. But yeah, you don't see a character like this in most other anime, where one who is he lacks, he's not physically fit, he's not what is it? He's not physically fit. He's not Genki. He's not a very like energetic person, let's say, but the story doesn't put him down for those character traits. The story actually lifts him up and says that those traits are equally valid in the game of volleyball. Like, as long as you have what your team needs, you have a place in volleyball, which I think is such a good message to send to people. Like, if you want to, like, I think Kenma being in the story is Furudate sensei telling the readers, hey, you don't have to be insanely motivated like Hinata. You don't have to be like an athletic juggernaut like Kageyama. If you want to play the game, you have friends that play it, and if you just want to outsmart people in the game of volleyball, that is equally valid. You can be a gamer and play the game and play volleyball. Volleyball, at the end of the day, is a game, just the same with any other sport in the world. And it's okay, let me collect my thoughts. Sports and games might seem different at first because it has two very different groups of people playing them, let's say. But at the end of the day, we're all humans and they're all games. So I think that's what Furudate sensei is trying to tell us with the character of Kenma. S tier. I love his inclusion in the story. I love Kenma's mindset about the game. Joined and stayed for a friend. He's indifferent about it, but he still finds something to enjoy it in his own way. Yeah, exactly. Which brings me to Kuro. Yeah, I'm putting Kuro. Yeah, he can go here. Not as. Yeah, he's S tier as well. He. Okay. Well, okay. I'll talk about the elephant in the room later, but. With his friendship with Kenma is wholesome as heck. I think he's a year older than him. He's like a third year, right? Kenma's a second year. But he basically loves volleyball and saw that Kenma had a talent for it. And he saw that Kenma could offer a unique perspective and be the brains of Nekoma. Like, he has that really epic speech. He has that epic speech at the start of every Nekoma match where he's like, "Oritachi wa keitseki da." Something, let the oxygen flow, and then "No ga seijou ni hataraku tame ni," or something like that. Like, it's such a badass speech. It is a bit corny. It's a bit corny that he says it, but with his voice actor, it makes him sound badass, right? By the way, I should also mention that Haikyuu has such an amazing voice cast. Like, every single character here is so perfectly casted, from Nobuhiko Okamoto to Murase Ayumu, his voice is like unbelievable. Obviously, like oh shit. Oh no, I forgot Kageyama's voice actor's name. Kaito Ishikawa. Ishikawa Kaito, right? So like Toma Saito, Hino Satoshi, Namikawa Daisuke, Yuki Kaji as Kenma. That is insane. Koki Uchiyama and as Tsuki, and frigging Nakamura Yuichi as Kuro. Gojo himself voicing Kuro. Basically, if Nakamura Yuichi is voicing a character, that character is like an instant fan favorite without question. Like, yeah, the casting is fucking amazing in Haikyuu. I'm sure everybody agrees that. Everyone unanimously agrees that the cast is freaking perfect. Heck, I even like I didn't mention this in my previous stream, but I really like the replacement voice actor they have for Keishin. like he's I'm gonna be honest, I still prefer Keishin's first voice because that's the voice that I grew up with. But well, what can you do? It's like an Uncle Iroh situation in Avatar. Like the voice actor passes away, so someone has to take up the mantle. And I think that the second voice actor does a really good job with Keishin. Just like Iroh's second voice actor does a really good job with him. Anyway, yeah, Kuro. Okay, I'm just gonna come out and say it. If you ask, if you talk, the VA did a good job giving off the same vibe. I think so as well. It's just that his voice is like a higher tone. Like Keishin's first voice sounded kind of like this, and then Keishin's second voice kind of sounds like this, so it's not as gruff, you know. So it sounds very different, but I think they both still suit the character, both voices. With Kuro, I'm gonna be real. I have talked to a lot of Haikyuu fans before in real life. I've talked with a lot of Haikyuu fans. If they're a girl, there is like a 50% chance at least that they think Kuro is the hottest character. I swear, the amount of Haikyuu fans that thirst over Kuro is insane. Like it's unmatched. Without fail, he is. Whenever somebody does like a Haikyuu like hotness tier list, he's always near the top, if not at the top. So I had to get that out of the way first, because 9 times out of 10 I talked with someone IRL who likes Haikyuu. They say my favorite is Kuro, and I'm like, oh, here we go again. Not that it's a bad thing, but some part of me is like, I would respect it more if you had like a more unique or unpopular opinion. Yeah, I'm an outlier. Like, I like Daichi. Exactly. Like, I'm surprised a lot more people don't put Daichi in the like top tier of hotness tier list. This guy is a freaking this guy is so dependable. Like, how is that not the most attractive feature in the world, right? Yeah, Daichi's, if I had like a hotness tier list, Daichi would be number 1 for sure. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. What was I? I got sidetracked. But with Kuro, basically, I'm not talking about his looks anymore. I'm not talking about his riz. He has a very snarky personality as well. He's kind of similar to Tsukishima, where he likes to goad people into like he's a shit talker. Like he beefs with Bokuto in like a friendly manner. Oh my god, he beefs with Daisho like no tomorrow. This freaking dude here. He's such an entertaining personality. He's such a good middle blocker. Like, he basically is the one to teach Tsukishima a lot of the fundamentals of middle blocking, especially read blocking, right? If Oikawa is the teacher for okay, well, maybe not directly. You know what? Yeah, I'll say it anyway. If Oikawa is the one to teach Kageyama, which he didn't, but he did give him some advice, and he is basically the inspiration for Kageyama in a weird way, then Kuro is the teacher to Tsukishima. Kuro's advice on how to read block properly is one of the biggest reasons why Tsukishima is as good of a middle blocker as he is. So yeah, he's also a good team captain. He really believes in Nekomata Sensei's vision of volleyball, which I think has to be commended. He was one of the major people driving the Gomisteba no Kessen. He really wanted that to happen. He wanted, which it was so sweet. He wanted to make the garbage dump battle happen because he was afraid that Nekomata Sensei would retire soon, and he wanted him to achieve that dream, to go toe to toe with his arch rivals on the biggest stage in Japan for high school volleyball at least once before he retires, right? Such an inspiration. What else can I say about Kuro? His relationship and I guess rivalry with Yaku was adorable. Like they basically beefed for a big chunk of their stint as first years. I remember they were arguing over the smallest little things. Like him and Yaku were arguing over like what hair length they liked on girls, what brand of volleyball that they liked more. It's hilarious. It's so petty. But then they both agreed that they wanted to go to nationals. And then that's what made them, I guess, friends. I think they're friends now. Luckily they had Kai to like mediate their beef. But yeah, freaking Kuro is fantastic. One of the best character designs in Haikyuu as well. His hair, he's like a Final Fantasy character. I swear, this hairstyle is like every Final Fantasy main character hairstyle since 7 or something. Okay, Liev. Okay, wait, first of all, I don't know how to pronounce Liev or Lev's name in Russian, because it is a Russian name. Haiba Liev. I'm gonna pronounce it like how his name is in katakana, which is Liev. So Liev goes in. Okay, he's not A tier. I would say he's like a B tier for me. He is a lot like Hinata, but he has the height that Hinata lacks. I think he's not as hardworking as Hinata. He's really dumb. Like Liev is really dumb. And he tries to act like he's the ace, even though he's nowhere near good enough to be calling himself that. Whereas like Hinata calls himself the ace, but he knows that Asahi is way more reliable than he is at the current state, right? And he doesn't go around shouting like, hey, I want to be the ace, I want to be the ace, I want to be the ace, because that would disrupt the team balance. Liev doesn't give a fuck about all that. He'll say that he wants to be the team ace, even though he sucks at like game sense, let's say. I really want to see him pop off in the garbage dump battle. I can't wait to see what he does in the match, to be honest. Oh boy, Liev. He's funny. I won't deny he's really funny to watch his antics. And when he is, Liev is he is a simpleton. He's I think in Japanese like tansaibo or something like that. He is dumb as a bag of bricks, right? He's dumb as a sack of rocks. But the few times that he is able to work perfectly with Kenma and the rest of the team it feels so good. I want to see him become better at volleyball, because I feel like he would add such a good much like Seijo, he adds a lot of offense that Nekoma sorely needs. Like Kai is a pretty decent wing spiker. Tora is a good ace, but not as good as like someone like the top ones. Or I don't think Tora is even as good as Asahi even. So they need someone to do quicks that are really, really effective. His impact zone his point of impact with his arm is so freaking high because his limbs are so long because he's like half Russian or something. Yeah. Okay, I want to say. Oh wait, no. I was gonna talk about Inuoka because Liev kind of stole his spotlight, but I'll talk about him later when I actually get to him. Okay. Kai. I really like this guy. He doesn't say much, but much like Daichi, he's very reliable. This is personal bias, okay? So I'm gonna put him at A. Very, very biased. He doesn't stand out, but he is very reliable, which I think Nekoma really needs. The more reliable the player, the better. The fact that he was there to basically mediate between Yaku and Kuro's beef, very important for the future of the team. What else? I don't know. Their friendship with, well, okay, maybe I'll put him at high B. High B for Kai. Yeah, I think A is a bit too much, considering who I plan to put there later on. Oh, I like him more than Liev though. Okay. I'll leave him at A. Kai is chill. He's always there in the background, making sure that the team stays on track. Like, Kuro can get up to some shenanigans. Yaku can get up to some shenanigans sometimes. Well, actually, not really Yaku. Kuro is a shit talker, so that causes trouble. But Kai is always there to be like the reasonable person, to be like, hey, calm down. Everybody, let's just all, like, you know, calm down and stuff. And he receives a lot of the really important digs that Nekoma needs, you know? Okay, what else? Yaku Morisuke. I think he can go here. Oh yeah, I'll put him right underneath Nishinoya. He's the calm person that helps settle the team, which is why I really like his place in Nekoma. Yeah, I'll put him here just so that they're together. Nekoma their gameplay style matters, or their play style requires them all to be calm and coordinated, right? Because that's Nekomata Sensei's philosophy. So the calmer the player, the better they are for the team. Like they can't all freak out, right? They need people who can do the job and play some damn good volleyball. And Kai plays some damn good volleyball. But Yaku is probably the best. I would say next to Nishinoya, he's the best libero that I've seen so far in Haikyuu. No questions. Yeah, no question about it. He like during the first Nekoma practice match, even Noya said, wow, Yaku is so fucking good as a libero. And when you think about it, right? Like, I think Yaku even said it himself during the OVA. Or maybe it was during the Sarukawa match. But Yaku said that if you're the libero of Nekoma, a team known for receiving well, that is a huge honor. Same with Shibayama here. Like, if you are able to be a good libero in a team that is already good at receiving, you gotta be goated for real. And Yaku is so good. I was rewatching the OVA where they played against Fukurodani in like the Tokyo quarterfinals, and Yaku, his game sense is so on point. He is such a reliable libero. And what I also found really funny rewatching the series is that Yaku is the one to basically keep Liev accountable. He's basically the one telling Liev, like, hey, you gotta practice. If like, I know you want to be ace, but if you actually want to be ace, you gotta be good. You gotta practice the fundamentals. You gotta receive well if you want to be a main person on Nekoma. And then Liev at the beginning was like, I don't wanna. So I can't even blame Yaku for getting mad. He has every right to be mad. Like, I would be pissed too if a guy like Liev came in saying that he was gonna be the best and didn't put in the work, right? Ah, boy. Yeah. And Yaku's also very adorable. I think I've seen a lot of people who have like Yaku as their number one Haikyuu favorite character, which I think is adorable because he's not the tallest person. Let's be real. The height does a lot for someone's attractiveness for a lot of people out there, but the fact that Yaku remains popular even though he's short gives a lot of guys hope in the world. Let's say same with Nishinoya, I guess. Let's see, Taketora. I think yeah, this is a good placement for him, right underneath Tanaka. Oh man, maybe. Okay, I'm gonna try and I like him more than Ikejiri and Enoshita. Well, I like Enoshita a bit. Okay, for now I'll put him right under Tanaka because he and Tanaka are so similar. Okay, fun fact. In Japanese culture, there's this like symbolism thing where the dragon and the tiger are like, I don't know if they're mortal enemies, but they're fated to fight or like be rivals, or there's like or partners. I forget what it is, but there's always some relationship between the dragon and the tiger. And I guess Furudate Haruichi wanted to reference that by having Tanaka Ryu Nosuke, so Ryu means dragon in Japanese, and Yamamoto Taketora, Tora being tiger in Japanese, be like basically the same guy. I won't say the same guy, but very, very similar characters. The only difference is that Taketora is the ace of Nekoma. And this guy put in the work. Like you saw during the Sarakawa Kogyo match in Nationals, they had the flashback to when Kenma and Tora were still in first year. And Taketora was literally benching so much weight for a first year high schooler just so that he could like receive better, just so that he could train his legs and stuff. You gotta respect that. I don't know if it's healthy for a 14-year-old to be benching that much or to be lifting that much weights, but you know, I guess he is an athlete. So I also, a detail that I found really cute when I watched that match for the first time was that in their first year, Tora and Kenma didn't like each other because they were like very different people. Tora especially didn't like Kenma for taking the spotlight in Nekoma. But then he realized that Kenma can offer something to Nekoma that they desperately need. A brain that will strategize and constantly think of ways how to play mind games with the other team while the rest of the team receives, you know? And in order to solidify their friendship and their like respect for each other, they dye their hair blonde, which is adorable. Both of them dye their hair blonde. I think my headcanon is that Kenma only dyed it once, whereas Taketora keeps dyeing the top part of his head. which is why like Kenma's hair, you could see the hair growing out from his head, and it's black. He just doesn't want to dye the rest of it. Yeah, basically Tora is, yeah, he belongs in A tier. He is worthy of calling himself the ace of Nekoma, which is fitting because Tanaka is on track to become the ace of Karasuno after Asahi leaves high school. He's not going to college, I remember. Asahi specifically is not going to college because I think he's just gonna take over his family shop or something. Next up, Fukunaga. This guy, I like this guy too, but I don't think I would put him in A tier. I think I would put Fukunaga above Liev. So Fukunaga, he doesn't say much, but when he does say something, it's like so weird and funny that you can't help but laugh. I think he makes dajare, he makes jokes. Almost all of his lines are jokes in Japanese, or puns, let's say. Like one off the top of my head that I remember is like nice pass, salon pass, or something like that. It doesn't really make sense in English, and it doesn't make that much sense in Japanese either. It just sounds funny. I would say out of all the Nekoma people, Fukunaga is the most cat-like to me. Like, cause cats are so derpy sometimes, and Fukunaga embodies that energy. I don't know how I would react if I met a guy in real life who acted like Fukunaga. Like, let me just think about that for a second. Like, if I met someone in real life who one looked like Fukunaga and who barely talked, and the few times he did talk, he made puns and made jokes that only he finds funny. I would be like, what is that guy's deal? But that makes him adorable for this series. Shibayama can go with Liev. I don't dislike him. I don't dislike Liev either, just putting that out there. But I think I'm like neutral on them. Oh wait, I think Shimada has to go like top of B tier at this point. Or no, not underneath Takeda. There you go. That's probably a bit accurate. Okay, wait, I'm gonna have to reorder this. Okay, there you go. That's fine for B tier. Shibayama. Oh man, wait, Michimiya. She goes there. Shibayama, he's like the reserve libero for Nekoma, so he's also good at receiving. But he's like a first year, I believe. Same year as Inuoka and same year as Liev. But so far, I think he had that moment during the Nohebi match, I believe, where Yaku got injured and Shibayama had to take control, had to go into the game. And at first he was not confident in himself, but then after working with the team and working with Liev specifically, Liev learned how to be a good or a decent middle blocker, let's say, and Shibayama learned how to work well with his blockers to narrow the viewpoint of the spiker's course and receive accurately. So yeah, I like Shibayama. Again, with all these Nekoma players, I want to see what they do in the garbage dump battle. I can't wait to see, because I love watching them play, and I love watching Karasuno play. So the battle at the garbage dump is set up to be like probably my favorite match if it ends up being like, if it ends up paying off really well. I can't wait to watch how these teams compete, because it's not beef, it's not a rivalry, it's just good, friendly fun. You know, it's friendly volleyball at a high level. Yeah, they're all so solid. Inuoka, I really feel bad for this guy. Inuoka, he was in the first Nekoma match, and much like Kunimi and Kyotani, I feel like his role in Nekoma got upstaged by Liev. Like he is not a starting middle blocker anymore just because Liev has more offensive power. And he's taller, which I feel is so bad for, because Inuoka seems like a very good middle blocker. I want to see what Inuoka does most of all in Garbage Dump, because he hasn't done anything ever since the first Nekoma practice match. Yeah, Inuoka is the dog among cats, so he kind of stood out like before anyway, right? Actually, wait, Shibayama might be a dog as well because of the Shiba Inu. I don't know if he is based on a Shiba Inu, but there's that. Yeah, I want Inuoka to have more spotlight to shine, because it feels like ever since Liev entered the story, Inuoka's spotlight got taken away. But yeah, I want to see what he does. You know, I want to see him have a moment, much like Ennoshita. I want to see him do something. Nekomata Sensei, he can go with Ukai Sensei. They can be the same tier. I really like Nekomata Sensei, especially in the first 2 seasons. If Nekomata Sensei didn't let Karasuno join those like training arcs or training camps, Karasuno would not be the team it is today. A lot of that is owed to Takeda Sensei, but it also equally should be credit should equally be given to Nekomata Sensei for allowing them to become a better team, right? He was as invested in their growth as Keishin was, basically, just because he wanted to see like Ukai and his gameplay styles in volleyball go toe to toe with each other. Or concepts. Yeah, that's a better way of saying it. Like, he wanted to see Ukai's concept for volleyball fight with Nekomata Sensei's concept for volleyball, and see which one comes out on top on the grandest stage possible. But their as I said before, their rivalry was really wholesome. It's nice to see these old geezers just love volleyball and have this like friendly rivalry with each other, even in their old age. And even when Ukai is already retired, Keishin wants to show his grandpa the battle at the garbage dump that he could never make happen. I'm so invested in seeing this match, man. I'm so hyped. To this day I haven't watched the match or read it because I wanted to save my reaction for it if I ever made a YouTube channel, which is crazy, but here we are today. I love how their team just reflects their coaches. Yeah, it's like Shiratorizawa. Like Shiratorizawa, their coach, their team like gameplay style also matches their coach to a T. But yeah, I can't wait to watch this movie, man. Oh, gosh, what's her name? Akane? Yamamoto Akane? I think she's adorable, but I don't know where I would put her. Same with Liev's sister. I think Alisa? Oh gosh, okay. Where should I put them? I guess B tier. B tier, Akane is really funny as the well, I guess so another parallel between Tanaka and Tora is that they both have sisters. Tanaka has an older one with Saiko, and Tora has a younger one with Akane. And Akane is the one who leads the cheer team much like Saiko does. And Akane, I don't know, her reactions are so funny because she had that moment during the Furudate match where she really liked Liev's spike, and then Alisa thought that, oh no, does that mean Akane likes Liev? And then Liev whiffs a serve, and then Akane just loses all interest. That was hilarious. I want to see how their cheering squads go toe to toe with Karasuno's cheering squad now that Saiko brought the taiko drums out, right? I don't think Nekoma has any taiko drums or any kind of drumming percussions, so it remains to be seen who has the stronger cheering team. Well, she has a megaphone, so that already like bumps up their cheering team a bit more. I love the movie. It literally released in theaters in the US on my birthday. Wow, congratulations. That's like the best birthday present ever. I enjoyed it so much. I hope you get to enjoy it as much as I did. Thank you. I know that for how long is the movie? Like 2 hours? If a movie is 2 hours, they have to cut some things. I just hope that they don't cut too much out of the match. You know what I mean? That's what I'm hoping for the movie. That said, after I watch the movie, I do plan on reading the manga live on streams too, because I want to read and see what happens, or like what they cut out, pretty much. Alisa can go along with Akane in B tier because I don't really have much to say. They're part of the cheer squad, so they're just fun characters to have supporting the team. Alisa, what is there to say about Alisa? She's pretty, I guess, but that's neither here nor there. I think she adds like a really funny element because she's so embarrassed whenever Liev messes up, because like she is his older sister, and so she's like, I'm so sorry, my brother sucks at volleyball. I feel bad for her, but yeah, that's that. Hang on, I think I'm gonna get to, now that I finished Nekoma, I'm gonna go to Dateko as well after that, which won't be that long. It won't be that long at all. I love the sibling love in Haikyuu. Yeah, Haikyuu has really good sibling relationship writing. Like Hinata and his younger sister is adorable as well. Tanaka and Saiko have like this hilarious relationship where Saiko, like, she's also like a delinquent or a Yankee, and she imparts that energy to Tanaka as well. Yeah, basically like good wholesome sibling pairs. Oh, Tsukishima and his brother too, they have like a strange relationship. Kageyama has a sister? What? Wait, what? Kageyama has a sister? Okay, well, does she ever show up? I've never seen her, but like I guess I'll see her when I read the manga, I suppose. Yes. Okay. Okay, that is crazy. I did not I thought this whole time, for like the 10 years I've been watching Haikyuu, I thought that Kageyama was an only child. That's kind of shocking, but okay, that's that. Wait, I need to use the bathroom, so I'm just gonna use the bathroom really quick and then talk about Date Kogyo next, and then I'll probably do a part 3 stream where I talk about all the other characters after that. But yeah, let me go to the restroom for a bit. Okay, bye. Hey, I'm back. Hello, hello. Okay, carrying on. Let's see. Dateko is up next. So Dateko is, as I said before, they were like a sub-boss. Welcome back. Thank you, thank you. I don't know what WBS stands for, but I assume it's like welcome back. Datekogyo was like the sub-boss before they got to the actual main boss, which was Seijo. Dateko were like very formidable rivals as well. Welcome backs. Okay, got you. So Aone, I really like Aone. He goes in A easily. I would say like, there you go. Beside Kai for sure. Actually, maybe. Yeah. Beside Kai, Aone is so great. I feel like he doesn't talk he doesn't talk a lot. Yes, exactly. Aone, our gentle giant. You would think that Aone is like this really scary person. Like when you first meet him, you think that he has the same like anger as Kyotani, but no, he's like a big little jelly bean. Like, he's one of the more wholesome characters in Haikyuu. All he wants to do is play good volleyball. Like that's all he cares about. I don't know if I'm reading this correctly, but part of me sees him as like autistic coded or something like that. He strikes me as like as having some sort of like ADHD, but that's probably not. I might be reading too much into it. With Aone, he is like the wall. He's the reason why Datekogyo is called the Iron Wall, which is funny because I think when Haikyuu was first released, a lot of people were calling Aone like Reiner. Because if you know Attack on Titan, there's a character that looks very, very similar to Aone, and these anime aired kind of around the same time, like maybe a year apart, or maybe even in the same year, if I remember correctly. And the ironic thing is, in this anime, he is the wall, but in Attack on Titan, well, okay, spoilers, I guess. In Attack on Titan, he is the one who breaks the wall. But like, yeah, that's neither here nor there. Yeah, Aone is a badass. All he wants to do is play good volleyball and be a good senpai. He's a really good senpai to his kohai. I don't know if this guy was in. No, I don't think he was in Datekogyo. during the inter high. I don't know. It's really hard to talk about Aone without talking about Futakuchi, because Futakuchi is hilarious. He is like I'll put him in A tier as well. He talks the most shit out of anybody in Haikyuu. Okay, maybe it's Tsukishima and Futakuchi that are the biggest shit talkers, and Oikawa, I suppose. Now, I like Futakuchi's name because the kanji, I may be wrong in this, but the kanji for Futakuchi is like 2 mouths or something like that. Wait, let me Google if that's actually correct. Yeah, okay, literally. So Futakuchi, his kanji is literally futa or ni, and then guchi or kuchi. So that literally translates to 2 mouths. So Futakuchi is as much of a shit talker as he is, and talks as much as he does, because Aone doesn't talk. He does the talking for both of them, and that's why his name is 2 mouths, Futakuchi. So that's a little Japanese lesson for y'all. But I think at the time of their practice match after Shiratorizawa, between Dateko and Karasuno, Futakuchi is already the team leader or the team captain. Actually, he's already the team captain by the time they fight Seijo in the Haruko. Futakuchi is I think he's a decent leader, or a decent captain, let's say. I think he has the drive to motivate the team to do well, and he can communicate that desire for both him and Aone. They're like a duo. They are the reason Dateko is called still is called the Iron Wall. And they gave Asahi the most heartache because their blocks would always stop his spikes. So they provided Asahi like a really good adversary to overcome in the early stages of Haikyuu. So I gotta give Dateko respect for that, you know? I like watching them work, but I really like watching them work once Koganegawa was introduced. Koganegawa is hilarious because he's like a diamond in the rough. Koganegawa, he is tall and he has a really interesting place in the team because he's really tall. So he is the third. He's the one who makes up the third part of the Iron Wall, but he's also the setter. So he, like, during the Seijo match, it was used to very good comedic effect when he was setting way too high for Futakuchi. But I feel like once he becomes a better player, like they even had that training arc with at Shiratorizawa as well, with all the Miyagi first years, and Koganegawa was there. So I think he learned a lot there. He formed this really wholesome relationship with Hinata. They had like a really good friendship because they're like kindred spirits. Koganegawa is enthusiastic as heck too, just like Hinata. I will say Koganegawa's hairstyle is so weird. Like when I first saw Koganegawa's hair, I thought to myself, okay, Furudate sensei is running out of hairstyles. But like that's probably not true. But this is one of the more weird hairstyles I've ever seen in anime, period. Yeah, Koganegawa's a bit derpy, but I feel like he has a lot of potential to be great, and he's very entertaining to watch. Okay, now we get to the third years of Date Kogyo. who I do not really care about. I will put Moniwa in B tier. Moniwa is alright. I think Moniwa, he was the original team captain in the Inter High. And even he said that him, Kamasaki, and this guy whose name I don't remember, they were like unfortunately, they were known as like a bad crop of blockers. Like they weren't that impressive. They weren't that tall compared to like Aone and Futakuchi, let's say. Like they were decent blockers, but they weren't amazing, stellar. But I do respect the I do respect Moniwa and the rest of the team, the third year's decision to leave, so that they could give the leadership positions to Aone and Futakuchi. Very, very respectable. A bit sad because they always show up to their games. Like they always show up to Dateko's games even if they're not playing. So it shows that they still do want to play volleyball, but I guess they wanted to just hand the reins over so that Dateko could rebuild and build an even stronger team. They could start early. So yeah, that's all I have to say about Moniwa. The GOAT, Bokuto, better be S tier. Oh, okay, spoiler alert, but he is gonna be S tier. Bokuto's undeniably S tier. But yeah, exactly. You know it. Bokuto is the GOAT. He is so inconsistent as a player, but when he does pop off, he really pops the fuck off, you know what I mean? He is the best, exactly. Oh my gosh. Okay, so for the rest of the Date Kogyo third years, I don't know where I'm gonna put these guys. I'm gonna put them at like, oh no, this guy goes in C. I don't know him. Kamasaki, I guess, can go with B, because I think it's hilarious when Futakuchi roasts the shit out of Kamasaki. Futakuchi's like, yo, you don't get bitches. Or you don't get girls. And then Kamasaki's like, what? Yo, say that again. And then they like beef together. With this guy whose name I don't remember, he's just there to be the third guy of the third years. That's literally all he's supposed to be. He doesn't really talk much or say anything funny. Like Kamasaki, he always like, he's loud, so I remember him a bit more. And Moniwa is trying to be like a decent team captain, so that's kind of funny. Now, for the rest of Dateko, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know where to put these guys. Cause like this guy's name is literally Pantaloons. I'm not kidding. His name is just Pantaloons. So I have literally no opinion of him. I guess I'd put him next to like the guy who cheered Karasuno and goes to watch their games. Yeah, they're in D tiers for sure. Sakunami, I don't dislike him, so I would put yeah, probably here. The only thing that I remember Sakunami doing is when Koganagawa like fucked up, Sakunami was there to receive the ball and like get the rebound and basically cover for Koganagawa's lack of game sense, let's say, or lack of polish. With the Dateko coach, I don't know where to put him either. It's like there are a lot of coaches that don't do much. A lot of them are not on here, so that's okay. Like the Inarizaki coach isn't even on here, which is crazy. I gotta say though, how does Yamaguchi S tier? Yamaguchi is my favorite character in Haikyuu, and I know that's crazy. Because a lot of people don't like him, but I like Yamaguchi. He's not a reliable player. This is not based on like how reliable they are. in the game, but Yamaguchi has inspired me in my own life, and that's why I gotta put him at the top of S for me. Bokuto is so much better. I mean, to be fair, they're like, yeah, Bokuto is a lot more fun to watch. I'm not gonna deny that. Bokuto is a lot better as a player. But it's hard for me to compare the two because Bokuto is a wing spiker and Yamaguchi is like a server, so a pinch server rather. So they do like completely different roles, let's say. But Bokuto is like one of the most entertaining people in Haikyuu. A bad pinch server. Well, he's better than Kinoshita. So for Karasuno, it's like, it is what it is, you know? They only have him and Kinoshita as the... Where the fuck is this guy? This guy. I'll put him actually down here as the pinch servers, so he's better than him. But Yamaguchi is not that reliable yet, but I believe he can be good. Let me live in my Delulu fantasy. Let's see, where are we at? Oh my gosh, we're at the random guys who Karasuno fought during the spring tournament arc, the Haruko. So the first team that they fight is Ogi Minami, and I like this guy a pretty decent amount. I would put him at like C, more than Narita for sure. Like here, Toada, I think is his name, Toada. Basically, this team is the team full of Yankees or delinquents, and yeah, Yamaguchi isn't good, but it's about his character rather than how he plays. That's my logic with putting him at S. Yeah, this is not skill based, not in any way, shape, or form. If it was all skill based, it would be like Ushijima and then Kageyama and Oikawa, Nishinoya at the top, and like a lot of people who are just clearly better players. But it's about like how they affected me personally, and so it will be biased for sure. So with Toada, I like his character arc because in the match that he plays with Karasuno, he looks down on Hinata because Hinata is so short, right? And his mentality is that, yo, like, what's the point of playing if we're all gonna be beaten by Shiratorizawa anyway, right? So he has this like defeatist mentality, but over the course of the match, he slowly learns that, you know what, trying is pretty cool, even if you do fail. And he has a really wholesome relationship with this guy, the team captain of his team before. This team captain was so out of his depth because he was just like a wholesome guy who liked volleyball, but he had to lead this team of delinquents. That was rough. But where would I put these guys? I'll put them like, I guess like over here actually, not that high. This guy has the weirdest hairstyle in Haikyuu, period. At least Koganagawa has like yellow, but this guy, he just has like a chicken rooster feathers on the top of his head. It makes no sense. It's so weird. It's like, I don't know. This guy needs to see a barber ASAP. He needs to get this haircut revamped and refurbished because his barber did him dirty. But yeah, he was wholesome. It was nice to see him tell the Yankees that, yo, you should, yo, you guys suck, but you know, you should still do your best, you know. Yeah, that's how it is with volleyball. There are teams that are just going to be better, but you should still try your best, right? It was so sad when Toda saw this guy crying in like the club room, and then Toda felt bad that he didn't chase after the ball. That could have... I'm not saying that if Toda chased after the ball, they would have won, because they were against Shiratorizawa at the time. They were getting swamped, like, clearly. But trying and failing is better than not trying at all. Hyakuzawa, I really like Hyakuzawa. He can go in A tier. He can go like right underneath Asahi, I guess. Hyakuzawa has a lot of potential as well. I'm pretty sure at the time Karasuno fought his team in the spring tourney, the Haruko. Hyakuzawa was literally just put in because he was 200 meters. 2 meters. 200 centimeters. Which is insanely tall. I think that's like 6'7", 6'8" or something like that. So he is like basketball height, but he's playing volleyball for some reason. And he didn't really know how to play. Let's be real. Like, when he started, he literally knew nothing about how to play volleyball. But then, as the game went on, he slowly grew an appreciation that volleyball isn't an easy sport. It's not simple. And where I really started to like Hyakuzawa was during the training arc at Shiratorizawa, where he again forms this like really unlikely friendship with Hinata. Hinata is just this ray of sunshine that just can make friends with anyone, and Hyakuzawa is no exception, because Hyakuzawa was feeling like he didn't belong in the training camp, because everybody in that camp they may not have been perfect at volleyball, but they were better players than him. And then a lot of people there at that training camp thought that Hyakuzawa was just there because he was tall, which is not untrue, right? But Hyakuzawa felt like such like outcasted in that training camp. But luckily, with Hinata's persuasion and help and advice, he was able to become a better player and have more confidence in himself. Like that what's that moment? Raku shite kouze, Hyakuzawa! Where it's like, let's take it easy, Hyakuzawa. Where Hinata basically taught Hyakuzawa how to receive well so that his team can calm down, which Hinata then uses to receive that Inarizaki ball in their last rally, or maybe not last rally, or I think it was the last rally of Inarizaki. So that moment in the training arc at Shiratorizawa really paid off during the Inarizaki match. But yeah, their friendship is wholesome as hell. They start off like rivals. Hyakuzawa looks down on Hinata and thinks Hinata's like, I don't know, sad for he's so short and he's playing a sport where tall people have such an advantage. And then he grows to respect him, and then they become friends. Very, very cute, wholesome relationship. Terashima is I don't know where I put them. I don't know where I put this guy. Somewhere in B tier. I don't like him that much. I would say more... Let's put him here. Terashima is the team captain of Jozenji. Oh yeah, Suga was crying because of it. Yeah, Suga is always there to be the surrogate for the... He honestly sometimes acts like the surrogate for the audience. Like, he's there to be like emotional when a really good character moment happens, like Hinata perfectly receiving that ball for the team. The Terashima, he's an interesting character. We first get introduced to him hitting on Shimizu. He was hitting on Kyoko, and Hinata hilariously defended Kyoko, which is so nice of Hinata to do, because Kyoko was clearly uncomfortable. and this guy was not taking no for an answer, which is a red flag, I suppose. But then, like, when we get to the match with Jozenji, we see that Jozenji, they are not a very disciplined team, let's say. They're very talented, I won't deny that. They're very good at volleyball. It's just that, but that's due to the way they were coached by Coach Anabara, I believe is his name. He is a bad captain. Like, out of all the team captains that we've seen, he is probably the worst, just because he doesn't know how to properly lead. Yeah, exactly. Protect Kyoko at all costs. Yes, 100%. When Kyoko says she's not interested, it means she's not interested. What's this? So Terushima, his go-to line whenever things get bad during a match is like, let's get fired up, guys. Let's just keep up the, let's just get hype, you know, come on, we can do this, or something like that. He doesn't give actual leadership strategies or advice, so that makes him a bad captain, in my opinion. Which comes back to bite him in the ass when Jozenji, like, they try to do like the synchronized attack out of nowhere at Karasuno's match point, and it costs them the set, right? So this is what happens when a team does not have a solid, reliable foundation like Daichi to pick up the slack. Like, if a team is allowed to just run wild, you need a person who will dig the volleyball even if they mess up, right? Which is what Daichi does. Whenever Hinata and Kageyama are too rowdy, Daichi is there to dig the ball so that the opponent doesn't get the point, right? Hiroshima lacks that, and as a result, Jozenji ends up losing horribly to Karasuno. If Hiroshima took a few pointers from his old captain, like I think his name is Okudake. If he took some pointers from Okudake, then I think Jozenji would be a better team. But it is what it is. Now, I mentioned before, I am not into Shimizu. I'm not into Tanaka's sister. I'm not into Yachi. I am, however, into Hana Misaki. So I'm sure, like, a lot of people are wondering, like, who the hell is this? Like, I'm sure anybody listening would be like, who the hell is this? She is the manager for Jozenji. I fell in love when I was like, how old was I? I was like 16, watching season 2 of Haikyuu. I fell in love with her. Like, the minute she showed up. She is so cute. She's so adorable. And she's not just cute, she's so mature. She, like, that sounds weird talking about it now, because they're all high schoolers. Okay, let's say this is what I thought when I was 16, right? I really liked her disposition. I liked the way she put Jozenji in their place. She was there to be like the reason, like, or like the adult reasoning, telling them like, hey, your strategy is not good. It's not feasible. You have to be realistic. And I respected that so much when I was a teen. Misaki has the same VA as Misaki from Kaichou Maid-sama, and I knew I would love her as soon as I heard her voice. Really? Wait, that's so funny. they have the same like name, and they casted the same seiyuu for the role. That's hilarious. I really should watch Kaichou Maid-sama. I've only seen like the first 3 episodes of Kaichou Maid-sama, Oh man. If Misaki from that anime is anything like her, I'll be in love instantly. But yeah, in my opinion, she has the cutest, she has the best, prettiest design out of all the other girls. Because it's not over the top. Like, it's not overly cute. It's not, I think Psycho is a bit too wild for me. Shimizu is too pretty. She's not, she's like out of, like, she's not even in the category of attractiveness for obvious reasons. Alisa is also a bit too pretty for me. She has like the girl next door, roughly. This is the vibe that I like. Now, I have to say, I'm not attracted to her anymore because, like, I'm an adult now. But if I met someone in real life who was around my age and who acted like her, I would be so smitten. It would be game over. You know what I mean? Anabara, Coach Anabara. No, not, oh, Michimiya as well. Michimiya is great too. I don't know. Michimiya is adorkable. But to me, I see Michimiya as Daichi's partner. I can't see Michimiya any other way other than Daichi's one and only. It kills me inside that they don't end up together. Like, I actually die every time I remember that fact. Let's see. Where was I gonna put Anabara Sensei? Coach Anabara can go to C. I like his inclusion in the Shiratorizawa training arc. Like after the Shiratorizawa match. Because he is the coach that really wanted to boost Miyagi's power level. And Washijo Sensei like allowed him to do that, which is great, right? Big where the fuck is he? Oh, big ups to Washijo Sensei for that. Yeah, okay. I think that Anabara, oh, Daichi is too oblivious. Yeah. Daichi is too oblivious. It makes me so mad because they could have been the perfect couple. Literally the perfect couple. Okay. Coach Anabara, I respect his drive to make Jozenji a better team, right? Because his whole goal with Jozenji was, okay, I mean business. This is not just gonna be a club. This is gonna be a team. And he implements these like insane 2-on-2 drills for volleyball, which he then uses for the training camp. The training camp at Shiratorizawa is mostly 2-on-2 matches, mostly due to Anabara's philosophy. I feel like Coach Anabara has the makings of like a Nekomata sensei or Ukai sensei or Washijo sensei. He's just starting out, right? He's starting out, but he's building the legacy that he'll have when he's an old man of just like, you know, wild volleyball. So yeah, I like this guy. Not okay, wait, actually maybe C is too harsh the more I think about it. If Terushima is B, then Anabara is a bit above him. Yeah, I'll put Anabara in B. And I forget, but I think he was okay with Hinata crashing the training arc. I could be wrong about that, but if he was okay with Hinata doing that, then I gotta respect him for that. Let's see. Wakutani Minami. We're getting into Wakutani Minami now. So, Nakashima Takeru. I like this guy too, but not Actually, would I put him in? I would put him in A tier, actually. I really like this guy. I feel like Wakunan is not a flashy team. They're very similar to Nekoma. I think they mentioned that. Wakunan is very similar to Nekoma because their whole philosophy is that hey, just be tenacity is their modus operandi, their concept. They just want to be a good team that digs the ball and counters with a really good offense. And Nakashima Takeru, they mentioned that he has the most similar playstyle to the Little Giant, who is this guy. I do know that this guy is the Little Giant. But the fact that he is one of many people who was inspired by Karasuno's number 10. And I really liked seeing his playstyle in action. He doesn't have the height or the power to just spike the ball with all his might like Ushijima does. He doesn't have the power to spike with all his might like Ushijima does, but he rebounds the ball off their hands. So I feel like it's really fun to watch him play volleyball, for me personally. And I like his mindset. He doesn't look down on people. He's a very wholesome character. Maybe you could argue that that makes him a bit uninteresting, but I like how good of a sport he is. He was a middle child, so he's used to controlling like an insane team. He was basically set up for leadership perfectly on in his life by being a middle child who had to grow up and take control of the household while his family was being crazy. So you gotta respect Takeru as a person for that. And Tabi is the next one. Tabi, I'll put Tabi in like C. I thought he was funny, but I don't really have that much to say about him. I would put him above like maybe alongside Narita. Yeah, Tabi is alright. I like how you could tell that he and Takeru are like really good friends just immediately. And the one funny thing that I remember about Tabi is that one, they call him Pineapple Head, which is so funny because they call Kindaichi like Radish Head or something. Rakyo Head, I don't know what that is. It's either Turnip Head or Radish Head, probably Turnip. And he's Pineapple Head. He had that really funny moment where Takeru said, "Hey, there's like a really cute girl in the stands," and then you see the girl, and let's say she doesn't fit the expectation of like someone like Kyoko. You're expecting to see someone like Kyoko, but you don't, and then that just shows how based of his tastes are, because he likes the more plain looking girls, or natural look, I guess. I don't know. I don't want to be mean. I mean this in the nicest way possible, but his taste is based as well as hell. Okay. My voice is honestly tired, so I feel like I'll pick up. I think I'll stop there for today. I'll have like a part 3 stream where I talk about Shiratorizawa and Fukurodani and Inarizaki. I think that gives me so much ammo to talk about for a 3rd stream. And I need to call it here today because my voice is tired. Talking. A lot of talking today. So yeah, I think that's where I'll leave it off. Thank you for tuning in to the stream. And again, once I'm done like doing all these tier list streams, I'm gonna edit them all into one video so that it's like easy to rewatch, basically, without me stumbling over my words or anything like that. So yeah, I guess all I have left to say is have a good evening and have a good rest of your night. I'm gonna save this and return to it in the future for my part 3 stream. Night, thank you for the stream. Nice end to a Friday night. Oh, thank you. I'm glad that I could, like, I guess, share my love of Haikyuu with anyone, honestly. This is my favorite anime of all time, so I love talking about it whenever I get the chance. Okay. Bye-bye. Have a good one.